The cycle of life and death is something that is fundamental to any living creature. In all cases, when something dies, it provides new life for many other creatures. One of these creatures is an insect that appears like a mythological being that comes around only when something has died. The genus Necrophorus, otherwise known as burying beetles, contains species of beetles with colors of orange and black, along with an interesting behavior with dead mice. I got the amazing opportunity to do an REU, or a research experience for undergraduates, at the Rocky Mountain Biological Laboratory in Gothic, Colorado. This was a 10-week program where I stayed in the mountains and I got to conduct my own research experiment and took wildlife class to learn more about the fauna of the area. My cabin was one of the oldest in the valley, being made in 1880, which was really cool. My main project was on the truly fascinating burying beetle. These beetles are pretty large and are typically only seen on dead animals. They are a type of carrion beetle as they eat dead animals, but what they really specialize in are dead mice or other small corpses. These insects use dead mice for their reproductive purposes. When an animal dies, it typically gives off a strong scent, and these beetles can detect the pheromones with their large club-like antennae. Males aim to find the corpse first, before sending out pheromones themselves to attract females. Once a female is present, both the male and female work on burying the mouse together. They go underneath the mouse and maneuver the dirt, and once the mouse is buried, they then turn the mouse into a ball, stripping it of its fur. Once the mouse is a meatball, they then lay their eggs in the dirt surrounding the mouse. When they hatch, the larva's mouth parts are too small, so the adults help feed the larva until they can eat on their own, and then they leave. These beetles show the rare trait of parental care in the insect world, and it is super fascinating. There were 3 species in the area: Necrophorus gutula, Necrophorus investigator, and Necrophorus diffodiens. My project was focused on investigator and diffodiens. The other aspect of my project was looking at the differences between meadows and aspen groves. And at the end, I was looking at the reproductive success between the 2 species and between the 2 habitats. I measured differences in temperature with hobologgers and soil moisture, the number of larvae, date of burial, burying speed, date of emergence, and pronotum size. I couldn't measure everything because I only had 10 weeks, so some of my project was done by someone else next summer. But it was still a lot of information, but it was all super fun, and I had to check them every single day. This program was good at showing you how field biology works, so you really learn how to deal with the elements and writing on paper where everything gets dirty afterwards, so it makes things hard to read. Outside of my project, we gathered census data on the beetles using metal cans, as well as small mammals using Longsworth traps. If you are interested in learning how to create a burying beetle trap yourself, I have placed a link in the comments below. The days at Rumble were always filled with beautiful views and wildlife from dawn to dusk. I loved every second of it. There were baby deer outside my cabin door. I got to learn about tiger salamanders, see beautiful water features. Butterflies. And so much more. Each day was so beautiful, it holds such a special place in my heart. From the 2024 summer, I applied to many jobs and internships, and this was one that I applied to, but I did not think that I would get at all. So it is crazy to reflect on today, and it really shows that if you just put your name out there or still apply, you can still get some incredible opportunities, even if you think you wouldn't actually get it. Because you never know, you might actually get that awesome opportunity. What's even better is that I haven't even mentioned my injury that occurred over that summer, though that is a story for another time. Instead, I'll be just showing some of the other cool videos of things that I saw before going to the actual painting. Now onto the painting. This is a tribute to that wonderful summer that I had, and this isn't the first time I've drawn these sorts of beetles before, as I participated in the t-shirt design contest and I won, which was really great. However, I did want to draw something else to also highlight how cool these beetles are. As you saw, I start off with a base sketch, as the main stars of this is going to be a mouse skull and a beetle. And then I also decided to add some blue flax flowers to bring out some more color to the piece, as these flowers are everywhere in the mountains. After the large shapes, I defined the beetle a little bit more. The perspective did make the anatomy ending up a little bit more cartoonish than what I would have liked, but it is still identifiable. I'll probably end up drawing another beetle in the future with better precision, but as I've said many times on this channel, that is another area to improve. I'm also thinking of posting not only these sorts of finalized pieces, but also sketching sessions, so we can all learn together on how to improve our art. From there, I started to paint in the skull, where I went from light to dark, really building on those shadows, and I really went darker than I normally would go, and I think the skull came out really well, and the addition of some of those textures really made the skull look more realistic. I then moved on to the beetle, starting with the orange areas of the elytra. The paint was a little splotchy, so I had to wait until it dried, until I added more layers to make it more opaque. From there, I then used a dark blue for the general shape of the beetle, and then I would go in with a darker black so that I could really emphasize definitions of where certain body parts are. To make the elytra more orange and have a bit more depth to it, I added a mix of red and orange on the side so I really have that reflective nature of the elytra. After adding the darkest lines onto the beetle, I then added shadows to the skull and then moved on to the flowers. I painted those base colors before darkening it to add some of that depth, where I then added a little bit of yellow to the base of the petals before breaking out my colored pencils. I work on the beetle first, adding some bright yellow to the orange pattern on the elytra, and then adding some of those black shadows and blue highlights. From there, I then go to the flower, where I add that main color, add some bits of pink, some different types of purples, before outlining a darker purple for the veins of the petals. I also used some acrylic markers for the pollen and some additional highlights to the skull before finishing the piece. This is the finished painting. Overall, this was super fun. I love the mixed media process, and I will be making more for Rumble and Mountain art, and I'll share the process of each one that I make. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you all for your patience. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of your day and a good week.